in the wood yard. We've got a wood delivery, and then right after that, we're gonna come back and we're gonna start up the 572 XPG, the heated handlebar saw. Coming up right now. I brought a few delicious treats for the wood cats, and they're eating them. Just some little morsels of goodness for them. They came and checked it out and they scarfed them up. So I just threw them down and now they're eating them. But the fuzzy cat over here seems to not like them. I don't know. These ones are just going nuts on it though. I'm gonna feed them in just a little bit. But first thing I'm gonna do is I backed up to the pile of cherry right here. And I'm gonna throw a bunch of that in, and then we're gonna go over to the mixed hardwood and throw a bunch of that in because this is for a face cord or a third of a cord of mixed hardwood. Once I get that delivered, I'm gonna come back, and it's a pretty nice day, so I'm gonna get the saw out and we're gonna do some cutting. And it's already late in the afternoon, but hopefully I can cut for a couple hours anyway before dark. So that's the plan. So gonna get busy. There it is. The wood is in the chariot. We did put some choice chunks of cherry into the chariot, and we're about to go down the road and deliver it. It's a little windy out here today. They said like 15-mile-an-hour winds, but when you're out in the open like this, it feels like 25-mile-an-hour winds. But today is a beautiful day. The sun finally came out. We've had probably, I don't know, 2 weeks of no sun, and it finally came out. So just feeling and seeing the sun is awesome. So the load is in, we're gonna go deliver it. Like I said before, this is a third of a cord. It's going to a repeat customer. He usually gets 2 loads every year. He gets 2 face cords at a time. But he said he's been burning through the wood fast, literally, and he wants some more. So more than likely he'll need some more after this. I don't know why he doesn't just get another 2, but that's how people are. They think, oh, let's get a little bit and it'll get me through. But then, you know, we get down to the crunch time, as I like to call it, February and beginning of March, where you could still have plenty of winter, and then they're like, I gotta have more wood. I'm out. You're gonna save my life. We're gonna freeze to death. And I'm almost out of wood. So this year I probably will run out. What I've got a lot of left, as you can see over there, that's the pine pile. There's lots of pine. The cherry is over there, and then this here is cottonwood. Right here is birch, and this pile right down here. And then right here is all I got left of the mixed hardwood. Other than the wood that's way over there in the racks, you can see. That stuff I've been piling. That stuff will be dry pretty quick, because a lot of that when I split it was dry. So I think even though it's wintertime, it will still dry quite a bit. And a lot of the wood, like I said, when I was splitting it, it was pretty dry already. So okay, we're gonna go deliver this load and get back so I can run the saw. Okay folks, I am back from my delivery and I've got my new saw here. It is the Husqvarna 572 XPG. It has heated handlebars. I only cut with it once so far. I ran about a tank through it, and I'm gonna use it today because it's, I don't know, it's like 22 degrees or something like that, but it's pretty windy, so it's chilly. If the wind wasn't on, it would be a lot nicer. So some of you have asked what happened to my my measuring devices. People that are new to the channel have no idea what I'm talking about, but you're about to see it. I'm going to show you what I do for measuring my cuts when I cut wood. Now, some people use a laser marker, some people use a Mingo marker, some people use a yardstick, some people use a tape measure, some people use a stick, some people use their bar, which I used to do. I had a mark on the bar, so I just turned the saw and I'd know when to make a 16-inch cut. But I'm going to show you something that's cheap, fast, easy, works fantastic. Now, one of my saws, I broke these off, and they do break occasionally. I usually get about a year or so before they'll break off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take cable ties, or zip ties as I like to call them. I'm going to take 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 14 inches, nothing special. They're 14 inches, 75 in a bag, and we're going to put a measuring device on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put zip ties on the handle, and then we're going to measure from the bar out to 16 inches so that I know when I'm cutting, I just go to the end of the zip ties. They're flexible, movable, they go all over the place, so they don't get in the way, so it works pretty good. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the zip ties on the handle. I'm going to put it right there. I find that way I can grab down below and I can grab up above, so they're not in the way where they are. Now some of you are going to say, oh, how come you're not using the new laser measuring device, which is called the Pro Sizer? That's fine too. Those work just great. This, to me, is easier. So it's just what I do. But I do have some of those. I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to put one of those on one of my saws, and you will know. Now I'm putting 3 on, and I'm putting 3 on for a reason. They do break off occasionally, and I find 3 is easier for me to see. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the bar out 16 inches, which is going to put me, I suppose I should take the scabbard off. So I think you guys can see from there. So I'm going to measure from the bar out 16 inches, which puts me right there. And mark that spot, and I'm going to just snip the end of one of them here. Turn this around so I get the right spot. It can be 1/8 of an inch off. No one's going to know the difference. I mean, but you want to be fairly consistent. There's another one, and the third one. So that's the first step. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some black vinyl electrician's tape. And the reason I'm going to do that is twofold. Now you can have these so they pivot. Some people like to be able to turn these out of the way so they can just get rid of them when they don't want them. But when I'm cutting, when I'm cutting in a pile, I want them to be there all the time. So I'm going to actually secure them in place. I'm going to get a little closer for you fellas to see, and girls, kids, women, children, everyone. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some of this vinyl tape on it, the handle, to hold it in place. So basically just going to put a few wraps on here and get it good and tight. It's better to do this in warm conditions because this tape is pretty stiff right now, but we'll get it on good enough for now. I can always redo it. The cable ties or zip ties are very cheap. I think you can get a pack of 75 of them for like 12 bucks. And no, I'm not going to put a link on Amazon. You can go to a hardware store and get them. You can go to any electrical supply store and get them. Any box store is going to have them. So we're going to put it above and below. I'm going to get it as tight as I can here. Again, it's just to hold it in place so that it doesn't move. So go right to there. So there. Now those are on. Pretty permanent right there. I mean, pretty solid. And then I'm going to take the small pieces of pink duct tape, and I prefer pink just because it's easy to see. You can use blue, you could use green, you could use orange, whatever color you want, yellow, any color will work. So it's going to take this, we're going to rip another little piece, and we're going to rip another little piece. And all I'm going to do is put it on the end. Like this. And then we're going to put another one on the end of this one. And that gives me a really good visual reference for seeing them. So this whole procedure is going to cost me a little bit of tape and 3 zip ties, which, like I said, 75 of them is like 12 bucks, so it's cheap. So just wrap these up. There we go. I got a little extra, so we're going to put another little piece on, I think, on this end. Just kind of seal that one over. There we go. And then we're going to do another one on the next one. We're going to seal that end over. It doesn't have to be anything special. All you got to do is be able to see it. And a lot of people have done this, and they tell me it works great for them too. So then we're going to do this one like that. And seal that one over. There you go. Now I've got measuring devices. So from the bar to here, 16 inches. So when you're cutting, you basically just look down, you put your bar where it's got to be, you look where your next cut is, and you move over if you're going from right to left. If you're going from left to right, you go to the end of the log, right here, and you make a cut. It's that simple. So there it is. Whisker, feelers. Cheap, fast, easy, cheap. Okay, oh, there's one thing I forgot to do. I forgot. This is something I started doing a while ago. I'm going to make a stress relief on this because these will break off right there, especially the bottom one. If you set it down on a log, it can snap off on you. So what I started doing is I started adding a little extra strength right here, kind of like a stress reliever like you see on a lot of cords where they got the extra piece of plastic. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a piece right here. We'll come out just a little bit. And kind of do one of these. And then once I get that on, I'm going to wrap it back. And I'm going to put one more piece around and kind of tie that in. Okay, so we're going to start right on where I just left off. I'm going to come around this way. I'm going to go around here. I'm going to go around like this. Then we're going to make a corner. We're going to come up. We're going to go right there. And I'll put one more little piece on there. Because it's so cold, it's not really sticking really good. Because it's probably not going to hold as well as I do when I put it on in the warmth on the inside. So the adhesive to the tape can actually stick. And this is going to get hot here. So we'll see what happens. So there we go. Okay, I started up my saw about 2 minutes ago. It's warmed up. I got my chaps on. I put my ear muffs on, or my ear plugs. I got my muffs and helmet on. It's gassed up, oiled up, it's ready to go. So we're gonna start cutting. So again, I'm gonna show you kind of close up when I cut with the measuring device is kind of how it works. I'll try to show you best I can. So it's cutting time. I only got about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So hopefully I can get a couple tanks worth cut up here. So here we go. Okay, so if you're cutting from right to left, like I'm doing, you just kind of hold the bar where you want it to go. You look where you got your little feeler thing, and you make your cut. So now if you're cutting from left to right, you just take your measuring thing, you go to the end, you see where you got to go and make your cut. And you do it again. So there you go. All you do is you use this as your measuring device. And out of anything that I've tried everything. This is the fastest, this is the easiest, it's the cheapest. So time to get really cutting now. Here we go. So there, I did some cutting. Saw is really nice with the heated hands. My hands are toasty. Now my left hand, because that's where I grab the bar, is much warmer than the right one. The right one, it's warm, but it's not like toasty warm. It's just warm. So I might switch my hands when it's really cold back and forth. So I can cut left or right-handed pretty easily. So There's some logs. We're gonna move them out of the way and cut some more. There it is, folks. Today's carnage is complete. The cutting and tossing of chunks of wood is over for today. The heated handlebars are awesome. It's, like I said, it's a little colder today. I had gloves on, but I could feel the heat. It was really nice. My fingertips are as warm as can be. Very nice. I'm glad I got it. It's going to be a very nice addition on cold days. I'm going to use this a lot in the wintertime. And I got about 2 tanks cut almost, so it's a good day. Sun set a while ago. I saw sparks fly. So I noticed my tip here is just a little bit dull on this one side, because I could tell the saw got dull right away. I saw sparks. Must have hit a rock or something in the wood. So that's it. You're coming back tomorrow 5:30 a.m. I'll be here. You're going to be here because you got nothing better to do in the morning besides drink coffee and sit in your office on your porcelain throne. And between now and then, you're going to go and watch some videos. There's 960, I think, now. Good night, Irene. Oh, look at here. They know what's about to happen. They know. They're all here. The whole herd of wood cats is present. Don't step up there. You're going to get your foot caught again. Geez, you think they might be part wolf. Here, I put some on the floor, sends the other cat. Yeah, this fuzzy one is the boss. It pounds up the other cat, slaps them up. They're all afraid of it. It's the meanest one. And it's the one when you pet it, it will bite you. And the gray one just doesn't like to be touched. So I touch it once in a while, but then it wants to get away. This little one here likes to be pet the most. And the half cat likes to be pet. Oopsie, look at that. Mean bugger there. Yeah, I'm going to move you out of there. I'm going to put some right there because that way that cat can eat too. So there they go. Off to the races.